I give you a privileged insight into the mystery of time. Yes?
Yes.
Open your mind to adventures beyond imagining. Yes?
Yes.
And you criticize my logic.
No. No, I'm just saying that a lot of the time you don't really make sense.
Oh, you've noticed that, have you? Well, I mean, anyone can talk sense as long as that's understood. You and I are going to get on splendidly.
Hi everyone, TARDISGuy13 here, and today I'm going to be doing a top 10 video, and this is going to be my top 10 Tom Baker stories. Now, before I jump right into it, I'd like to say that I have not seen all of Tom Baker's stories, so, you know, this list can change in the future as I see more. So just know it's based off the ones I've seen, and I think I've seen enough to make a top 10 out of. So, yeah, now with that little disclaimer out of the way, let's jump right in to number 10, which is the Android Invasion.
This isn't Earth. This isn't real wood. It's some kind of artificial material like plastic. These are not real trees. And you're not the real Sarah.
Okay, so the Android Invasion. Now, this is a story which gets, you know, it's claimed to be the 1 week link of season 13, which many people would say is the best season of Doctor Who. But for me, I really do like this story. You know, I can see its flaws. You know, it definitely does have some flaws and plot holes and whatnot. But I really do enjoy this kind of like idea of the quintessential English village. I think the visuals are very nice. You know, you've got this kind of like, you've got this mystery going on. I quite like that in the first few episodes. And while it does go a bit downhill in the final episodes, once you get away from the village, it's still a very enjoyable story. And you know, the Krolls are decent villains, and yeah, that's why this made it on as 10th on my list. Now, next we'll be moving on to number 9, which is The Deadly Assassin.
You still think I did it?
I think you're going to be executed for it. They are preparing the vaporization chamber now. You have about 3 hours to live, Doctor.
What? Well, that's monstrous. Vaporization without representation is against the Constitution.
You are an embarrassment.
Now then, The Deadly Assassin. This is one of those stories which is seen as a classic by a lot of people. It's the only classic series episode not to feature a companion, so it's just the Doctor. And it's also, I think, the only classic Doctor episode not to feature any female cast members, funnily enough. But not that goes against it, in my opinion. It is a very good story, quite scary in places, especially the Master. And yeah, I just think it's generally an enjoyable story to watch. So now, moving on to number 8, which is Pyramids of Mars.
I am Sutek the Destroyer. Where I tread, I leave nothing but dust and darkness. I find that good.
Well, Pyramids of Mars is another one of those classic stories, and I think it's going to make it onto most people's top 10 Tom Baker lists, and some people's top 10 overall lists. I think it is a very enjoyable story, again, and, you know, it's kind of like the 4th Doctor is at his most darkest here, and arguably at his best. Now, while I like seeing a more humorous side to him, I do like seeing this side to him as well. And it's very serious, very dark. You know, he still sometimes has the occasional joke, but the way he's acting in this kind of like shows you that Sutek is a very dangerous enemy, and I like that about this. So now that that's done, let's move on to number 7, which is Terror of the Zygons.
A monster of frightening size and power.
This one they call Doctor is a threat to us. Already he has found out too much.
Now, I don't think I've said this before, but the Zygons are my favourite monsters. So, obviously, Terror of the Zygons would be in my top 10 Tom Baker lists, given that it's their only appearance outside the 50th. And to be honest, I didn't really like them that much in the 50th, but here they are great, and while the story could be better, it's got a couple of flaws, but, you know, it is a great story nonetheless. But I still love the Zygons in this. They are very good, and I think they're just very good villains. So now, let's move on to number 6, which is The Ark in Space.
Homo sapiens. What an inventive, invincible species. It's only a few million years since they crawled up out of the mud and learned to walk. Puny, defenseless bipeds. They've survived flood, famine, and plague. They've survived cosmic wars and holocausts. Now, here they are, out among the stars, waiting to begin a new life, ready to outsit eternity. They're indomitable. Indomitable.
Okay, now, The Ark in Space is kind of like Philip Hinchcliffe's first story as producer. And you can definitely kind of like feel a change of direction here from Barry Letts and Terrance Dicks's showrunners. And I think here it is very good, to be honest. And Philip Hinchcliffe's era is considered the golden era of the show, and looking at this, you can see why it is very good. Kind of like the white, clinical nature of it all, matched the green grub. It goes back to the kind of classic Base and Prestige story, which I quite like. And it's just generally a very good Tom Baker story. Now on to number 5, which is City of Death.
Oh! I say, what a wonderful butler. He's so violent. Hello. I've called the doctor. That's Romana. That's Duggan. You must be the Countess Scaglione. And this is clearly a delightful Louis Cairns chair. May I sit in it? I say, haven't they worn well? Thank you, Herman. That'll be all.
Now, with City of Death, you could argue that it's kind of like really bad drama, it doesn't take itself seriously enough. But I think, if you look at it in that way, then you're not looking at it as it was meant to be looked at. It's meant to be looked at as a light comedy. And as that, it is amazing. I love the kind of like storytelling in it. I think it's very funny, the ending is very well done from a comical standpoint. And I think it really fits Tom Baker's Doctor well. And Lala Wood is great in it. I can't remember his name, but the actor who plays Duggan is great in it. I really like the character of Duggan. And Julian Glover is just phenomenal in it. And really, it's just one of those stories where everything seems to come together and go really well. So that's why City of Death's made it 5th on this list. Now 6th. Now, not 6th. Now 4th, of course, we have Genesis of the Daleks.
Yes, I would do it. That power would set me up above the gods. And through the Daleks, I shall have that power!
Okay, now this is a story which really needs no introduction. It is absolutely amazing. And Michael Wisher is phenomenal as Dav Ross. Tom Baker really does do that "Do I Have the Right" speech very well. That is probably his defining moment. And everything just comes together very well in this story. Now, what 3 stories could be above this? Well, first off, in 3rd place, it is Horror of Fang Rock.
Very interesting.
What's interesting?
That was Vince.
What's happened?
He says he thinks Lord Palmerdale's fallen from the lamp gallery.
Okay then, so Horror of Fang Rock, in my opinion, is the best script Terrance Dicks ever contributed to Doctor Who. It is incredible script. The Rutans are a very good villain, I think. Or there's only one of them, so Rutan. And you've got all these people with different motives. They've all got something to hide, and they've all got different flaws. And in the end, they end up dying because of it. And all that's left are the Doctor and Leela. And even Leela doesn't escape unscathed because she loses her eyesight. Well, temporarily, and then her eyes turn a different colour. But yeah, I think it's a very good story. It's very enjoyable. And I know I've said that same thing about a lot of these stories, but it's because they are very good stories. And all of these I could watch anytime, no problem. So, yep, now on to number 2, which is The Talons of Wing Chiang.
Doctor, I offer you a proposition.
Not now, Greel. We're busy.
I will spare your lives, you and your friends, if you leave now.
Well, that's very magnanimous of you, Magnus.
Then get up and leave.
What? With your trigger-happy little friend out there, no thanks.
I am offering you your lives, you fools!
We'd be cut down before we reach the door.
I think so too. He has no truth in him.
Now then, we're almost there at number 1, and I bet a lot of you have got a good idea of what it is, but first let's talk about the runner-up, which is The Talons of Wing Chang. Now, I think this is a very good story, again, like all the others, I keep saying that. We need to get some better descriptions for these. But I really do like the characters, Henry Gordon, Jago, and Professor Lightfoot. I think they are very good characters. And, you know, Tom Baker's very good in this. This is the only story not to feature his scarf. And, which is, you know, an iconic part of him. But, yeah, I think this is a very good story. Now, what could beat this, I hear you asking? Well, I'm pretty sure a lot of you have already guessed it already, but here we go with the announcement. It is The Robots of Death.
Kill the Doctor. Kill the Doctor. Kill the Doctor. Kill the Doctor. Kill, 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 kill.
Well, here we are at number 1, and it is of course The Robots of Death. I think this is a very good story, you know, it's a very good murder mystery. I think the robots are very creepy, they are very enjoyable villains. And yet, it's surprised they're not used more, really. I mean, I know they have been used in a couple of books and a couple of audios, but other than that, they're fairly underused. Now, it's got my favourite companion in it, Leela, as did the previous 2, which I listed. And you know, these are 3 of my favourite stories. And yeah, it's funny that they all run in consecutive order, though I've kind of done them in reverse. But yeah, I think these are 3 very good stories, and definitely ones worth adding to collection if you haven't already. And The Robots of Death itself, you know, the robot voice is very good. I think the cliffhanger to episode 2, I think it is, where the sand miner tips and whatnot, and then you have it goes in on all their faces. I think that is a very good cliffhanger, to be honest, and you just kind of like get this idea of what are they going to do. And you know, the robots, as I said before, are very creepy, and it is just a fantastic story. It is one of the most enjoyable stories Doctor Who has ever produced. And I'm not sure if it's my favourite or not, but it is very close. It's definitely in my top 5, at least. So, yeah, I think that is amazing. It really is just an amazing story, and yeah, there's not much else I can say about it, other than, well, it's great. And I'd have to say more in a review sometime, but anyway. Now, let's finish this video up by saying, well, thank you everyone for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. Please just list your top 10 Tom Baker stories, or top 5 if you would like. And I'd just like to reiterate what I said at the start. This is my opinion from the ones I have seen so far. I have not seen all of them, so you know, it's likely to change. And even if I don't see any more in the near future, it's likely to change anyway, because you know, I have a right to change my opinion, and yeah, and I probably will do eventually, because, well, opinions never set in stone like they are with Doctor Who. So, you know, you always watch them a couple of times and opinion changes on each watch, and yeah, so thanks for watching everyone, and I'll see you all next time with a review, probably. Not another top 10, that'll probably be another time, but yeah, I hope you enjoyed this top 10, and I'll see you all next time. Bye everyone.